back to Busy Minds and Busy Hands. Today we're going to do a fun project that you can do at home, and it has a little bit of science in it. So today we're going to be making homemade metal detectors, and these are pretty easy to make, not too easy to actually get to work. So there's a lot of gray area in this project, but it's really fun to do, and if it does work, then you feel like a superhero. Okay, so what you're going to need for this project is a portable radio, and you're going to need an AM setting on that. You can probably find these in your house, hopefully. Ask around. Probably know someone who does have one of these portable radios. Not exactly in much of use today, but you'll be surprised to find where they are. The next thing that you're going to need is a battery-powered calculator. And the final thing you're going to need is some tape. Oh yeah, and some metal objects. So let's get started. Alright, so before we talk about the procedures of this project and before I show you my finished metal detector, I'm going to talk a little bit about the science behind how this works. So basically, the circuit board of a battery-powered calculator emits a faint radio frequency. Now, this radio frequency is picked up by the AM radio when it bounces off metal objects. So essentially, when the metal detector gets close to metal objects, the frequency will bounce, those waves will bounce off the metal objects and be amplified by the radio. Okay, and now let's start building. So here I have my metal detector. This is my portable radio. It's a bit big. If you have a smaller one, that'll do. And the first thing that I want to do, turn it on and tune it to the very last AM setting. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me through the static. So you want to get to the last static station of the AM frequency, and you can just do this by tuning it all the way to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Your volume should be pretty loud because that'll help the metal detector work properly. And before I turn it on, I'm just going to show you the back. This is a battery-powered calculator on the back. I haven't turned it on yet, and before I was experimenting with the placement, and I found that when the battery part of the calculator was facing the battery part of the radio, that gave the optimal sound for the metal detector. So I placed it right there, and I taped it according to the sound. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the calculator on. You can see that there. And now let's turn on the radio. This is the sound that comes out. Now, if we were to have the calculator off, you'd hear a bit different noise, just static. So let's take a listen to that. This is what it would sound like without the calculator on. Now with the calculator on. Big difference. Okay, so now let's test it out. One quick note before we start testing. A homemade metal detector is very, how should I put this, fickle. So sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But for the best possible results, I've been doing this all day, and it took me a long time to figure out what exactly was the best method of picking up the metal. I found that putting a large amount of metal in one spot would help the metal detector pick it up, because you have to remember, it's a calculator emitting a very, very faint radio frequency. So the more metal there is, the better your results will be. So the sound is going to be very faint to notice, but what you're looking for is a constant tone that's emitting when you are above the metal. So when the metal detector is not near the metal, you should hear a bit of static, a bit of that tone, and a bit of a high-pitched ringing. But when you get to the metal, it should be constant, flat tone. So some websites will disagree, but they may say that you're supposed to look for a beeping noise, but I found that I heard a constant tone being emitted. So the main thing is you should find a change from when you're near the metal to when you're not near the metal. So it's best that you just experiment with it and try it out. And now for the testing. So I have some spoons and some safety pins on my bed right here. Now I'm just gonna turn on my portable radio. Let the magic begin. Listen for the ringing. I'm going to go near the metal. One more time. Should have detected that the sound became more constant and flat. It is a very subtle change, but I can assure you, you should be able to find it. So let's try another little experiment to see if our metal detector works. As you can see, I've hidden the pile of spoons under the quilt, so it's all right here. And now let's turn on the metal detector and see if we can detect a change. What I observed was that when I got near the spoons, the metal detector started, well, I should say stopped emitting a ringing noise, which was very high pitched, and it was pretty clear, almost like a lawnmower kind of sound. But yeah, that's what I observed. So I really hope you guys try this experiment at home. It's a fun way to pass the time and sneak some science into there. So have a good day, and thank you for watching Busy Minds and Busy Hands. Bye!